If you've ever walked into an art gallery, saw a piece of art, and thought, this isn't what art is supposed to be, congratulations, you had the exact same experience as people in the early 19th century experiencing Dadaism for the first time. Dadaism was less of an art style and more of a middle finger raised to society post World War One. Around 1916 is when it was technically born, and really it was saying if rationality is what brought us this bloodbath of World War One, then what is civilization, logic, or good taste worth to our society? There are five essential hallmarks of Dadaism that we recognize as that art style. The first one is found objects portrayed as art. Famously, there was a urinal, there was also a bicycle, but essentially it could mean any object that you find, and you would be giving it an artistic meaning, whether the public thought it had one or not. Photo montage, which is a specific type of collage, it was really just a collection of images, usually from catalogs, magazines, and newspapers, that were arranged in comical composition and had a lot of things to say about feminism and humanity and nationality. There was a writing movement that centered around nonsense. Literally, they would make up different languages and make up poetry. At the time, I think it was to say, what is the point of language if you can't communicate? And how absurd would that be if we're using language in a way that people don't understand? There was this deliberate idea of mocking beauty. They wanted people to question, what is the point of art if it's not beautiful? It was the reaction from the viewer that was more important than what the artwork was actually saying. Overall, the movement was incredibly anti-institutional. By submitting things like a urinal or a bicycle, they were basically saying that the institution of a museum had no worth, and the way they could demonstrate that was submitting artwork that wasn't artwork. So, for the rest of this week, I will be digging further into Dadaism, not just the philosophy, but the artists, the techniques they used, and moreover, how we still see this repeated in today's culture and maybe what it's evolved into.